Nancy, and today I'm going to give you guys a little video on the Little Bee Perfect Positioner. And a couple months ago, Kat did an order on her website, Kat Scrappiness, also the Stamping Enablers Facebook page. And I was excited to get these. I had one before. I'll show you here when it's on. This is a full-size Sizzix cutting plate, the long elongated cutting plate. And I have two cutting plates. Well, everybody has two, right? But I have one that is marked with the stamp positioner and one that is not marked. And as you can see, this one has some cuts and lines in it. So this is my bottom base plate for my cutting sandwich. This is the one I always cut on, and I do flip-flop them so they get cut on one side and then rotated and cut on the other side, and that hopefully helps them from getting warped. And then this one is the Little Bee Stamp Positioner one. And what this is it comes in a package, one to a package. It's very long. As you can see, it's almost the whole length of it's a couple inches shy on the short and bottom, on the top and bottom of the cutting plate, but it's very long. I don't have any dies that are longer than that, so it's not a problem for me. But today I got some extra ones, and I wanted to put them on my smaller cutting plate. So again, I have the old cutting plates. This is a new set I got, and you can see that one has been cut into already. You can see the marks, and this one not so much. This one's still pretty clean. There's just one there. That's an impression from the top of a die. So how this works is the acetate is marked with lines, and then it's sticky on both sides. So what you want to do is remove the stickiness from the bottom of it, and you want to position that, line it up straight with your cutting plate. Now I have a excuse me, a craft mat on my desk which does have lines in it, so I'm going to line my cutting pad up with that as straight as I can get it here, eyeballing it. Okay, so my cutting plate's lined up with that, and then what I can do here is line up the Little Bee, and this is sticky, with that. So there's a line at the top here I'm going to line it up with. And then also the side sticking. And I normally do not have the patience to do this, which is why it hasn't been done yet, but I figured there are some of you that want to know what is this and how can I keep my dies straight. So, alright, there we go. And I shouldn't have taken the top off, but I did. So let me just press that back down and press it back on. Alright, and I keep that for storage. You want to keep that sticky part. So now what you would do, after you get all your air bubbles out, the squeegee here. Alright, squeegee most of my air bubbles out. It's pretty straight up on the sides, pretty straight across, is when you run this through your die cutting machine, you have your cutting plate on the bottom. Oh, I'm doing it backwards. This is going to be on the bottom. And then you're going to put your die on here where you would want it. So if you would want it straight. So it's sticky. So my die is sticking to it. It's not falling off. You see that? Oh, I was out of camera angle. Sorry about that, guys. So because this is sticky, my die is sticking to it, and it's marked on the line there, so you can see it's centered there at the 3, and it goes all the way down. So ideally, this is now straight. And then you would put your piece of paper, and I'm just using a scrap piece of paper here for demonstration. But you would put your paper on there. And now, well, I would put it this way if I were cutting it this way. It's going to line up straight. So now my die is faced cutting side up. My paper is stuck on the die. When I run it through my machine, I have my bottom cutting plate there. It's going to cut straight because you can see that the paper is lined up on the line straight. So that is what the Little Bee stamp positioning tool is for. So you don't need your magnetic plate. You don't need tape. Post-it note tape, which we all have. I find that sometimes using the Post-it note tape, especially on something like this, is going to leave a residue, and I don't want that. And so this is just nice, it's handy, and then when I'm done with it, I take that little extra piece of plastic that it came in, the protective piece. I did have two here. I was just checking. Oh, here. They're both about the same. One is not thicker than the other. And I just cover it back up and put it away when I'm done. So these colored cutting plates, you can get a pair for, I think, somewhere around $10 now. So I try to keep a couple around for a number of reasons. One, you know, is obviously very heavily cut up. One I keep with the stamp positioner on there for lining up things. And one I try to keep very clean. I just did a video on die cutting on foil. And if there are bumps or marks on your cutting plate, that's going to transfer to the foil when you're die cutting it. So try to keep a clean one around. But for $10, it's a good deal. Let me know what you guys think of the positioner. Like I said, Kat has them on her webpage, catscrappiness.com. Thanks, guys.